Welcome to Crotoni Entertainment. I'm Chris.
And I'm pretty yawn.
What in the heck was that?
I was mid yawn.
Anyway, we're back with our Painting HeroQuest series. Yeah, I didn't even get a chance to say my thing. I was going to say, like, Bree's not comfortable in a chair, like my little side thing. I couldn't do it. Anyway, we're going to paint the Bard from HeroQuest. We're going to start with this dark green, and we're going to start with this carmine red. We're going to do a lot of combination colors in this video, and that's not that we're going to combine two colors into one, but we're going to tackle multiple parts at a time because we are using the Vallejo paints predominantly for this video. And one thing I have noticed about the Vallejo paints over some other brands is that while I do love the line and I love their coverage, and they don't need a lot of thinning, if any, in some of them, they do seem to take longer to dry than a lot of other paints.
Yes.
I think they've got more of the mixing medium in it, and that just makes it take longer to dry. By the way, you like my yellow finger?
Yeah, why do you have a yellow finger?
I filmed this video alongside several other videos while paints were drying, and I just kind of jumped back and forth between them. It was good times.
Okay.
So anyway, we're doing a traditional dark green on the Bard skin. So the Bard is an orc. If you don't have the Bard, to fill you in on why this is a HeroQuest model, when Hasbro re-released HeroQuest, they added on the stretch goals, or the Deluxe edition. Is that what they call it? I think it was called the Deluxe edition. Anyway, there was a bunch of extra heroes in it, including the Sorcerer and the other ones that nobody cares about, but the Bard. Everybody likes the Bard. So we're going to give the Bard some red boots, because this Bard's got to be fancy.
I mean, he's a fancy Bard.
He's a Bard. We're also painting this in the air quotes fancy style, as in we're not really using contrasts or washes to kind of power through this miniature. We're actually going to be painting it a little bit of the old, we're going to use some washes, but we're painting it kind of the old style, base wash, highlight sort of mentality. So this video does run a little longer than some of ours.
I thought you were supposed to do a simple one and then you do a fancy one.
You don't have two Bards.
No, you remember
You don't have two Bards. I'm not ruining the Bard with a simple version. It's the Bard.
It's the Bard. My bad.
It's the Bard.
I apologize for my.
So anyway, you saw some colors on the screen. Maybe I'll put the colors in the description. I might not. It doesn't actually matter. The colors.
You may not want red boots.
Yeah, the colors themselves don't matter. It's what we do with them that matters. So over that carmine red, now that it's dry, we are applying a red wash over it. In our particular case, we used the Citadel Carroburg Crimson, and you may use whatever you decide to use. We're also using the Vallejo Intermediate Green to do a quick highlight on all of the green skin for the Bard. So, Bree, you can see, and nobody else can because this is bad radio.
Yeah, we're good at that.
I am holding some cards in my hand.
You are holding some cards in your hand.
I'm holding the card of the Bard.
You had the Bard card.
I don't know what that was. Anyway, the Bard is fancy, so I figured we would also talk about the Bard itself.
Because I haven't gotten to play him yet, because you told me I couldn't take the Bard right away.
Well, no, we're playing with an 8-year-old who's never played HeroQuest before, so we figured we'd play the first quest with the stock characters. But that's what we're doing in our home campaign. We need to play around to that.
Yeah.
That's what we're playing in our home campaign. Is I'm kind of playing Zargon for the first quest because I played it as a kid, and then when the first quest book is over, Bree and I are going to swap, and Bree is going to play Zargon for the second quest, and so on and so forth. The only real restriction is I have very vehemently claimed a desire to be the player character in Joe Manganiello's book.
Yeah.
Big fan of that. We'll see what happens though. Maybe I'll change my mind on that. Maybe I want to see all the secrets he wrote into it. As the DM, because I haven't opened any of the other books. I've opened none of the other books.
Well, yeah, because we don't know who's going to be in charge of it. You don't want to know what's happening.
This is true, but I've been very responsible about it. So the Bard as a character in HeroQuest, and if you haven't played HeroQuest, why are you watching this? I mean, maybe we have some people who watch our Power Rangers videos who are watching this for some painting ideas, but the Bard...
But you should pick up a copy of HeroQuest.
Yes, you should pick up a copy of HeroQuest. And also, if you're a HeroQuest person, you should pick up a copy of Power Rangers Heroes of the Grid, which, by the way, Hasbro, I am available. You can sponsor these videos anytime.
We'll keep painting all your toys, man.
This is true.
Help a brother out.
We're painting all their stuff. At any rate, the Bard.
The Bard.
The Bard himself is...
The Bard?
In my mind, he's an elf replacement.
Which I'm here for.
So if you kind of talk about a HeroQuest party, I mean, I guess you could, if you really want to play the game on hard mode, you could... Oh, we should do that. We should play the game on hard mode with nothing but, like, the new weaker characters. Well, weaker's not fair. The new... All magic users.
Yeah,
So limited resources... limited resources, low body points.
No Bob Addy.
Limited resources, low body points. But HeroQuest generally it feels like, and this might be a result of the last time I truly played as a player, I was a kid, and I'm playing it with an 8-year-old now. But it truly feels you need at least one tank.
Yeah.
And honestly, 2 tanks in the form of the barbarian and the dwarf is certainly a nice addition.
My dwarf is not a tank, sir.
So anyway, after
not the way I roll her.
No, well, you're just bad at rolling. So anyway, after the red wash has dried, you're going to take that same carmine red and you're just going to do a quick highlight, leaving the darker underneath. So what the wash really did is darken up the carmine red, letting us use the carmine red as a highlight for the carmine red, and you get an actual color difference. We could have used a more drastic colored wash if we really wanted to make a darker gradient in the recesses, but I didn't. I just wanted to darken up the boots so I could basically use less paints.
I'll put sparkles on them.
They would be very impressive with sparkles. But anyway, the reason I said the bard feels like an elf replacement is the bard starts off with 5 body points and 4 mind points, whereas the elf starts with 6 and 4.
Yes.
So not super tanky.
No. Oh, yeah. Now who's yawning?
I'm not gonna. That's because you bore me. I'm not gonna say super tanky. I'm not gonna say not tanky though. And we'll get into that momentarily. But only 1 body point more than the wizard. So definitely a bit of a liability. Starts with 2 attack dice, 2 defense dice, just like everybody else. But the bard does start with the rapier. So you don't have to go buying a rapier. And if you're not familiar with the rapier in the equipment deck, the rapier gives you the 2 attack dice.
Yep.
But more crucially, gives the bard the ability to attack diagonally.
Which is money.
It's huge. So we got this light green now. We're going to do another highlight on the skin with the light green.
Okay.
And while we're doing that, the ability to attack diagonally. I mean, you can stand next to a door, and your tank is standing in the door, and you're just poking people through the other side of the door.
I don't know what you're talking about. I absolutely would never sit there and whack people with my staff.
Well, staff only gets 1 attack die. This gets 2.
That gets 2.
This gets 2. Now,
this is why I want to play bard!
So the other thing about the bard, and this is mildly inconvenient, is on the little flavor text on the back.
Yeah.
So if you're paying attention to what we're highlighting, by the way, we're leaving it very obvious that both of the other greens are still underneath it. We kind of talked about this in previous HeroQuest videos back when we did previous HeroQuest videos. By the way, this series back. I hope some of you are still interested in HeroQuest pigs, because here we go.
HeroQuest.
This is the first of a long line of HeroQuest videos. We're going to try to start bringing them back once a week, or at the very worst, once every 2 weeks. But we're going to try for once a week. But anyway, in the flavor text here, they hide a rule.
They had a rule?
And they do this on the dwarf as well, where they talk about how the dwarf can disarm traps. But it says, you are the bard. Your spirit and songs inspire and invigorate your allies. You prefer to stay light on your feet, so when you are carrying non-metal armor and not carrying a shield, you have 1 extra defense die. So the bard himself actually starts the game with 3 defense die.
Oh, that's sneaky.
But it does say you can't carry a shield, and you can't wear metal armor. So I've got this yellow. We're using Moon Yellow now. We're giving him yellow pants. Just bright yellow pants. We're just go absolutely all the way deep in the pants here. So anyway.
I don't like the way you said that.
We're going deep in the pants. We're going deep in the orc's pants.
We're going deep in...
Ooh. So
comfortable right now.
My only grief with the phrasing of non-metal armor,
right,
is that, like the extra defense die, there's not really a keyword indicating metal armor. And before our one comment jumps down my throat and says the equipment cards actually will say this metal armor for like the chainmail, there's nothing to draw your eye to any of it. There's no italicization. Is that a word? Anyway, we got this blue.
You didn't put it in italics?
This was an imperial blue, and look at my finger. Isn't that a good shot? I'm so good at this. I realize in a second. There we go.
Oh, but that knuckle that's my favorite.
going deep in the bard's pants.
Oh, God.
You walked right into that one on the internet.
I really did. Oh, God.
Oh, boy.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm going to go to bed now.
Yeah,
y'all just finish up the video. I'm just going to go, hide in the closet.
So there's nothing in bold. There's nothing in a special font. There's nothing capitalized. Nothing that would draw your eye to it quickly. So if you didn't actually read the back of the bard's card, you completely missed that he has an extra defense die. And if you're just flipping through the equipment deck quickly,
you wouldn't.
Some things there's some common sense. You look at chainmail, and it's probably metal, and it does say this metal armor. The helmet, however, the artwork on the helmet does look like a metal helmet, but it just says this protective headwear. It doesn't actually say metal. So
it could be a leather helmet.
It kind of implies that it's not a metal helmet. So kind of counting what you can get for the Bard while we pull out our Scarlet Blood to highlight the boots even further.
Because they need to be the best of boots.
They are. They're very good boots. And we're just doing little itty-bitty bits on the extreme edges here just to make them pop a little bit. We're not covering most of the red that we currently have on here. But kind of counting up, what I'm doing here is counting the defense dice of the Bard. So you start with 2 base, then +1 for being a Bard, that's 3.
Right.
And you slap a helmet on yourself, that's 4. And you can buy bracers from the equipment deck.
Because they're leather.
And it does say leather. It says hardened leather. So that's 5. You can get 5 defense dice with the Bard. And that's ignoring, as we pull out the dark blue, the magic blue, and the Nasdaq yellow contrast paint, which we're using as a glorified wash over the pants.
Mm-hmm.
Ignoring the artifact deck, because I didn't check there to see if there's anything that can give you more defense dice that would fit for the Bard that'd be better than those. You have 5 defense dice on a Bard.
Yeah.
That's really good.
And
it's a lot cheaper than getting 6 defense dice, or actually, I think you can get. Yeah, I think 6 is the biggest you can get for a barbarian because he can wear the plate. 7 because he can wear the plate mail, carry a shield, wear a helmet, wear the headpiece. It's significantly cheaper as far as treasure costs go.
Mm-hmm.
So it's actually something that might happen as we highlight the vest with this magic blue. So very, very cool, very defensible character. His attack potential is a little bit limited. Most of the equipment, actually I didn't see any of the equipment that says cannot be used by the Bard. So you could give him something like the longsword to get the 3 dice and still attack diagonally. But you don't necessarily need to go run out and buy him big equipment right away because even though it's only 2 attack dice, attacking diagonally significantly...
it gives him longevity?
Yeah, it gives him more mileage.
Yeah.
It's much more useful because you can run up beside another character who's fighting and just add in those 2 dice, which is fantastic.
It makes doorways glorious. As somebody who has used...
So the Bard uses his rapier to make holes in the wall glorious. Okay.
I hate you right now.
There goes our non-existent monetization. Now Hasbro's about to pull their sponsorship that they didn't do with us.
They were going to until you made that joke.
That was absolutely not a thing that was happening.
Yeah.
Am I highlighting something different now?
No,
I'm still doing blue magic. Anyway, the Bard has some spells. He has Bard spells.
Bard spells.
See, their Bard has blue pants. My Bard doesn't have blue pants. My Bard has yellow pants.
He has a blue shirt.
So the Bard has some spells, and this also makes the Bard, to me, feel like an elf replacement, because the elf is going to take one school of magic. Oh, we're doing the dark blue, which is actually a purple on the hat. So the elf's going to get 1 school of magic, and probably the easiest to do, and recommended by the game, and the easiest to play in general is to give the elf the earth spells.
Yes.
That's worked very well for us playing with an 8-year-old.
Yes.
But, your mileage may vary. Advanced tactics may not go down that road. So now that the Nasdaq yellow is dried, we're going to pull the moon yellow back out. We've got electric blue to go over the vest. And we're going to go ahead and take care of those real quick. But the Bard comes default with 3 spells. And unlike the elf, you cannot choose which school they're from. So that is a little bit of a bummer. But you get Lullaby. So Lullaby puts 1 enemy into a deep sleep so they cannot move, attack, or defend. The spell can be broken at once or on a future turn if the enemy rolls 1 red die for each of their mind points, and on a 6 it breaks. It cannot be used against undead, basically. So not dissimilar from the sleep spell from their decks. A healing song. So this one's interesting. This is not like Heal Body from... I think it is the Earth Magic. It has the healing
water magic.
Well, I think there's 2 healing spells.
Yeah.
There's one in the earth and there's one in the water. But anyway, This is not like those. Because this gives 2 body points back to the Bard and every hero who can see the Bard.
Hot dog.
Very, very useful little healing spell. And finally, the Bard has the Inspiring Tale. This spell may cast on any one hero, excluding yourself. You cannot inspire yourself.
Well, that's...
So I mean, you cannot sing that certain song that I won't say here on YouTube that you might sing to yourself to pump yourself up, and maybe whenever life gets you down as you're wearing a frown, you might want to sing this song. Anyway, you know the song. I'm not telling everybody. That's not something that's supposed to be on YouTube. Anyway,
it is on YouTube though.
That's true. That's true. Anyway, we're highlighting the vest, the electric blue, same thing as the carmine red, just little kind of lines of it on the highest points of the vest. I don't even know if I got the vest right. Looking at the Prime model, it was a little unclear. It does look like I don't know if it's a vest and a shirt. I couldn't find evidence of a shirt under the vest.
Shirt vest.
Or if it's just a sleeveless shirt that's untucked in the back. I just treated it like one big sleeveless shirt that's untucked in the back. But anyway, the last one is Inspiring Tale. I've got to pick a different hero. The next time they attack, they get 1 extra combat die.
Which could be...
regain this spell when any hero you can see, excluding yourself, rolls defense dice that rolls 2 white shields. So you can get this one back.
What?
You can get this one back, because we use this Rhinox hide to kind of do the leather strappings and belts that the bard is wearing. And then that purple, which I think it was called blue purple. Violet blue.
Blurple.
I wasn't looking. Actually, Brie and I got into talking, and for some reason, when we're actually doing the recording using the computer, if we go too long, the screen goes black on us.
And then we don't know what's going on.
And I got to jiggle the mouse, and the picture, while it's still recording our voices, and it's not screwing up the video, it doesn't actually show us anything.
Again, we know what we have no idea what's going on, which is not too different from our usual state. This time we just can't even see it to make it up.
This is true. So we're doing the Rhinox hide on the bard's loot as well. Is this a loot, or is this a...
No, that is absolutely a loot.
Is that an obscure, subspecies of a loot, though? I don't know my loot...
loot lore?
My loot... Well, not loot lore, but loot... my loot archaeology, I guess. Loot-eology?
Why would that be loot archaeology?
It's kind of like paleontology for loot. Loots, not loot. There's loot. Or Lutz, Florida.
Lutz, Florida. That's a different place. And that's Lutz.
No, it's Lutz for everybody who comes into Florida. Just like they say, what do they screw up really bad around here? You learn to say weird words when you live in Florida.
Oh,
we unfortunately live in... Oh, yeah. Yeah, well, a lot of people from out of Florida screw up, like Okeechobee. I don't know how you
Oh, yeah, that one's always fun with this.
Thonotosassa?
Palaka.
Palaka
always gets people going, wait, what?
Plus, we can't call it Lutz if we're actually talking about loot and trying to make a joke out of it.
I mean, that's true.
So it kind of ruins some of the fun there. Anyway, highlight the hat. Do that. Florida's a terrible place to live. Don't live here, by the way.
No, it's not a terrible place to live.
It's not a good place to live.
And
then go back and paint the Rhinox hide on this chest. I was trying to think of... The reason I didn't do it with the rest of the brown is I was trying to think of like a really flashy color to do it. And then I'm like... Would that imply he's just carrying it around with him? That doesn't make any sense. So anyway, we've got this light yellow. I love the names with the Vallejo paints because they don't screw around for the most point.
No. Doombull!
Doombull Brown, Gorthor Brown, and Scrag Brown are all coming out, whereas Vallejo's just like, it's yellow, and it's lighter than the other yellow, so we're going to call it light yellow.
Now, I want to know, is there then a lighter yellow and then the lightest yellow?
And I'm 99% certain that Vallejo is a Spanish company. 99% certain.
Okay.
Could be wrong. I think I heard that like 15 years ago. No, longer than that. About 20 years ago. I think I heard that. And I've just decided to believe it. So anyway, same thing on the pants with the light yellow that we did with the moon yellow. So there's also 2 lines of Vallejo paints. So we're getting off track off the board here. There's the game color and there's the model color. I use them both. The model color uses some of the crazier names, like Moon Yellow. Not super crazy, but Moon Yellow.
Yeah.
Whereas the model line, which is for, model car enthusiasts and I don't know, whatever else people paint things with. I mean, painting...
The train people.
Train people.
Don't mess with the train people.
Or maybe painting, like, fruit in your house to make it look like it's not unripe.
What?
So one time we had a bowl of fruit in our house. Yeah, I'm going to get back to that story in a minute. I'm going to get back to that story. It's absolutely relating to the bard. As we highlight the chest here, there's some striations on the chest. We're just using a thin brush and just kind of drawing on those striations with Scrag Brown.
I had a real moment of wondering if you were painting the orc's chest. So
what's interesting is the colors for model and game don't line up perfectly. So when you highlight a game color with a model color, or highlight a model color with a game color, you can tell it's from 2 different paint lines. It's not significant enough to not do it, but it doesn't bleed in one into the other as easily as certain other things. Vallejo is a line more designed for using the color, washing the color, highlighting up the color, and then mixing the color with a white or a gray or a cream to get the color that you want to get.
Right.
So we had a bowl of fruit in our house one time. Where did we get them from? We had fake fruit.
I bought them for Julian when he was like teeny tiny baby.
Fake fruit?
Yeah, because it was from one of the model sales.
Okay, so that's right. We both worked for a builder at the time, and there was a model sale, as in they were getting rid of the stuff they staged in a model home, and you got it dirt cheap.
Yeah, I got it for like $1 for like 15.
Yeah, so for some reason we kept them in the house way longer than we should have. There were some fake grapes, fake oranges, fake apples, and we kept them in a bowl on the dining room table, like, I don't know, pretending that made us classy. It did not. And
Mostly because Julian liked to move them around and hide them in places, and then we like a game to collect them up again.
It's true. And as we highlight the belts with the Doom Bowl Brown, we were hosting a game of Dread with a group of people, and one of the people got out, and before we kind of drew him back into the game, went over and sat in the living room, which is connected to our dining room, and that's where we were playing. So it's not like anybody was like excluded. But he apparently saw this bowl of apples that we had moved from the dining room table to the living room to kind of clear up table space. And later on in the day, I find one of these apples has these just big old teeth mark in them.
And he tried to blame the baby.
Like, clearly a grown man's bite marks are in this apple. And we're like, I didn't even call him out on it. I just found it while everybody was still there, and I picked it up. I said, who the hell bit this apple? This is not a real apple. And he tried to, as I pull out the pale blue and the bone white, and the Corvus black, which is a gray black. I was going to use my an oozing purple from Army Painter. I was going to use the gray black from Vallejo, but I couldn't find it during the filming of this video.
You mean you couldn't turn off the thing for a brief moment to actually look for a paint?
No, my Vallejo paints were very disorganized at the time. I'm actually doing something new to help organize them. So anyway, the pale blue goes on the feather. The rest are highlights for what we kind of already have going on. But I'm holding up this apple that's got this bite in it. I'm like, who the hell bit this thing? And of course, everybody gets a good laugh out of it. And completely unprompted, this guy tries to blame it on the 3-year-old.
Yeah. He tries to blame it on my little guy.
This is clearly a grown man's tooth marks in this apple. But he says, okay, fine, it was me. I was hungry. I'm like, okay, it's not even the same weight as a real apple. You didn't pick this up and go, there's something wrong with this apple. Anyway, that's probably a story that only we care about, but this is a 27-minute video, and there's only so much I can say about the bard while I paint the bard.
I mean, he's fancy.
Anyway, the Corvus Black is going on the
base,
the rapier's raping hole. Oh no, that is no, that came out wrong. Oh God. Oh, I was not thinking when I said that. Oh no. Oh
wow.
Oh wow. The scabbard. Holy, not okay. Oh wow. That was an epic slip of the tongue. I apologize for that one. That was not what I meant to say.
You're tired.
You know, sometimes things come out better in your mind. That also wasn't one of them.
Was that even in your mind?
Wow. No, it just kind of popped out. It just kind of fell out of my mouth like the apple. Wow. Anyway, some Liberator Gold and some Dead White, and the Eshin Gray.
I like the Eshin Gray.
The Eshin Gray.
Because that's the gray with like that tiniest little hint of blue in it.
No, it's more like a ruddy green. Yeah, it's like a dirty gray.
Dirty gray.
You're thinking of like
dirty gray.
Dirty gray. You're thinking of like Frostbite from P3 or like Space Wolves Gray from GW.
Yeah, that's true.
Or this pale blue actually from Vallejo has a hint of blue in it.
I would hope so. It's a pale blue. It should have a hint of blue in it.
Anyway, really thin brush, kind of highlighting the feather a little bit. The feather's the most boring part of this miniature because it's not full of color like the rest of him.
And whose fault is that, sir? You could have made that look like a peacock feather. What were you thinking?
Apparently not great things with what's come out of my mouth lately. So anyway, this Liberator Gold, there appears to be some buttons on his vest. I don't know. I was tired when I was painting. Maybe they're not buttons, but now he's got gold buttons on his vest.
Well, as any good bard should.
And then we're doing the trim of the treasure chest here with this Liberator Gold.
And what do you... Wait.
There's a reason it's gold. Because I didn't feel like looking for a silver.
What about brass?
I didn't feel like looking for a brass. I was kind of done looking for colors.
Apparently you were just like...
I was painting multiple things at once. If I'm not mistaken, I was painting this part at like 5:30 in the morning. This was painted during a recent bout of insomnia that I had where I was only getting like 3.5 hours of sleep a night. And I just could not fall back to sleep. So I was painting like any normal person would do. And...
you and our kid, apparently.
At this point, I was getting kind of tired, and I was like, I don't want to find another color. I just want to be done. So then I apply the Ashen Gray
To the base.
to the base. And this is when I kind of walk away. And I came back to this later.
You just left?
Yeah, I
Just
left.
like,
I stopped painting at this point, and I was like, I'm done for me. I might have put one more color on in one of the other minis. I don't remember.
Did you go and make
But
me breakfast?
No.
Why did you make me breakfast, man?
Because you don't deserve it.
Oh, man.
But anyway, I walked away at this point. It was going to take a while to dry anyway. When it did dry, I pulled out the old black pen.
Ah, the black pen.
So then we started drawing stuff on this guy.
Oh, to make it look like cobblestone.
Yeah.
Look at you.
You have seen this miniature in real life. Why are you surprised by what his face looks
probably
like?
because I didn't notice.
You didn't know. Well, don't do this on your bases. Apparently, it goes unnoticed by the peoples. So
don't shame my inability to pay attention.
So anyway, I'm just kind of drawing lines, kind of putting a grid-esque sort of thing on it, drawing in some crack lines, and some lines of crack. And
That's a different kind of model.
Oh man, now we got a drug reference in this video. God diggity, what is going on? Oh God! So I returned to HeroQuest, and we're gonna get flagged for like 10 different things. So then I was looking at it more.
I like that you think that many people see the videos to know that to flag us. Oh, was that mean? Was that too?
So this will be Cretoni's last video.
Look, it's a barn.
I'm not pleased with my wife right now.
I'm not the one making.
So that made some of the lines fatter, and then I didn't like that, so I stopped doing that. And then I painted the rest of the base black.
Okay.
And then there we go. The bard is done. You're going to see the photo of him in a second. And yeah, that's basically all there is to it. A simple model, some simple techniques. Get you a really striking, colorful model to delve through your dungeons. Can also be used in D&D. Can be used in one-page rules. You can use this in a one-page rules skirmish game pretty easily.
Yep.
And there we go. We have an orc bard with a better photo of him coming up. So like and subscribe for more content. Hit the bell button for notifications. We appreciate you watching the video. Thank you for if you subscribed originally for HeroQuest videos, thank you for staying because they are back now. Yeah, that's all I got. Thank you for watching.
Bye. What do you think an orc bard's favorite song is?
I need a hero.